Welcome in, everybody. Ready for another deep dive? Tonight, we're diving into the Merseyside Derby, and not just any derby, but the last one ever at Goodison Park, before Everton moves on to their new home.
It's a night steeped in history. We're talking live updates from The Athletic, covering the build-up, team news, pregame analysis, all that.
I mean, the stakes, right?
Yeah.
Couldn't be higher. Liverpool, they win tonight, 9 points clear at the top. But Everton, oh man, they're fighting for pride, a chance to spoil that party. And they've got the return of David Moyes.
The prodigal son returns, eh?
All right, so let's paint a picture. It's February 12th, 2025, Champions League night everywhere else but here. It's Goodison, sold-out crowd, all the blue and red in that electric atmosphere, all under the lights of, well, a stadium about to be history.
Electric is an understatement, honestly. Goodison's seen everything, titles, cups, relegations, the lot. And tonight, knowing it's the last time, wow, that's got to be an emotional night.
Absolutely. Speaking of emotions, let's talk about what's on the line. For Liverpool, a win tonight, is that it?
Yeah.
Title race over.
Well, it'd be a statement for sure. 9 points clear in February. That's massive psychologically for everyone else chasing them. But, I mean, we've seen title races turn around fast. One slip up, a couple bad results, suddenly the pressure's back on.
You've got to think they're feeling good, though, especially with that crazy fixture list. 5 Premier League matches this month. That's wild. The March comes around and basically nothing because of the FA Cup. Advantage, maybe.
It's certainly unusual, like sprinting a marathon, all out, then kind of .com could work, build momentum, but also disruptive. It's all about managing that.
Speaking of managing things, let's talk about that FA Cup shocker. Plymouth, bottom of the championship. Resting those key players. Was that the wrong move?
Hindsight, right. At the time, seemed calculated, focus on the league, Champions League. But as we saw, backfired. Big time. Plymouth, they were fighting for their lives, and you could see it. Hunger that Liverpool, with their rotated squad, just didn't match.
I love how The Athletic called Plymouth's home park a football wilderness. Really sums up how unexpected that was. Talk about a contrast in venues, wilderness to the cauldron of Goodison tonight.
It's almost poetic, isn't it? Champions humbled in the wilderness. Now they've got a must-win at, well, one of the most iconic grounds in England. Talk about a test.
And while Liverpool are licking their wounds, Everton, they've got their own problems. Injuries galore, especially up top. I mean, a center back playing striker in their FA Cup loss.
It's a testament to Moyes and this team spirit that they've gotten any results at all with that injury list. But a full-strength Liverpool, even at Goodison, that's a tall order.
Moyes is known for his tactics, though. But before we get into that, something else from The Athletic caught my eye. Fewer Scousers in this derby than ever. Lowest it's been in decades. A trend or just this rivalry?
It's definitely something we're seeing across football, globalization, academies pulling talent from everywhere. It's all contributed.
What do you make of that? Changes the rivalry? Does it even matter?
Fascinating question. It's almost sociological. How do demographics change the emotion of something like this?
Okay, you got me. Tell me more.
Well, some say fewer locals. It dilutes things. That us versus them isn't as strong when us is from, well, all over.
But wanting to win, to beat your rival, that's got to be beyond nationality, right?
Oh, absolutely. That will to win is universal. But the context, the background, being personally connected to the rivalry adds something extra, wouldn't you say?
I see what you mean, like representing your community, your city. But I guess that feeling can grow even if you weren't born there. I mean, we've seen players become icons at these clubs, embraced as one of their own from other countries.
Exactly. It's about embracing that culture, the history. It doesn't matter where you're from.
Right. Before we go full sociology professor here, let's get to the lineups. Liverpool first. Allison in goal, Bradley, Konate, Gaindike, Robertson at the back, Graven Birch, McAllister in midfield, and up top, Salah, Szoboszlai, Gakpo behind Diaz. Alexander-Arnold on the bench. Interesting.
Bold move by Slot. Alexander-Arnold's so key, both ends of the pitch. Be interesting to see how they adapt without him starting.
And for Everton, Pickford, O'Brien, Tarkowski, Branthwaite, Michaelenko, Guy, Garner, Lindstrom, Ducour, and Ndiaye, with Beto up front. Classic 4-2-3-1 by the looks of it.
So it seems solid, compact, hit them on the break, very Moyes. Lots going to depend on how well they contain Liverpool, especially without Alexander-Arnold out there.
Actually, about that, looking at this, I think Everton might be able to use his absence to their advantage.
Oh, I'm listening.
Look at Everton's left side. You've got Michaelenko pushing up from left back, and then Ndiaye, pacey and tricky, cutting in from the wing. If they overload that side, Early on, especially while Liverpool adjusts to not having Trent, they could cause some serious problems.
Yeah, good point. Everton's going to want to find any cracks in that Liverpool defense, and without Alexander-Arnold, well, that right side could be a real target. Tactically, this will be fun to watch.
Flip side, though. How's Everton going to stop Liverpool going forward? Salah, Szoboszlai, Gakpo, Diaz. That's scary. Think Moyes parks the bus, or does he try to go at them?
Probably a bit of both, honestly. Moyes, he's a pragmatist, right? So organize, discipline at the back, frustrate Liverpool, hit them on the counter. But players like Ndiaye and Ducour, they can cause chaos going forward. So if there's space in that Liverpool midfield, they won't hesitate.
Clash of styles for sure. And as we get closer to kickoff, I got to ask, the history. Who gets the last bragging rights at Goodison? Which fans walk out with that derby win etched in their memory?
Man, that's the question, isn't it? This isn't just 3 points. This is the final chapter of this rivalry at Goodison. It's huge.
You know, the Athletic had Slot talking about the Goodison atmosphere. He called it fantastic, but admitted it can be intimidating.
Oh, yeah. Goodison on derby night, it's a cauldron. The fans are right on top of you. It can really get in your head. That 12th man thing, they mean it here.
He even mentioned a moment last season, felt like the ref was swayed by the crowd, let some of Everton's rough stuff go. Sounds like he's prepping his guys for a battle.
Definitely expecting a tough physical match. Mental side of things, staying composed, that's going to be key for Liverpool. Match the intensity, but don't lose your head. Don't let the crowd get to you.
That's a tightrope walk, though, right? You got to be aggressive, up for it, but can't let the emotions boil over.
Exactly, and that's where your leaders come in. Van Dijk, Salah for Liverpool, Tarkowski, Guy for Everton. They got to set the tone, keep everyone focused, make sure the energy is channeled the right way.
You know, while we're on the topic of challenges, back to that FA Cup loss for a sec. We talked about resting players, how it backfired, but could it be a blessing in disguise?
Interesting way to look at it, possibly. Sometimes you need a jolt like that. Reminds you not to take anything for granted. Could refocus Liverpool, make them even more determined.
Especially with February being so packed. Maybe it puts a laser focus back on the league.
Yeah, could do that. And let's not forget, they're still in Europe, Champions League. So FA Cup's gone. Disappointing, sure, but still plenty to play for.
It's all about perspective then, right? A loss, it can set you back, but also push you forward.
100%. And honestly, that's bigger than just football. That's life, isn't it? How you deal with the tough stuff is what defines you.
Well said. Now, speaking of tough stuff, those Everton injuries. No real striker. Hard to see them troubling Liverpool's defense much.
Yeah, it's a blow for sure. But Moyes, he's known for pulling a rabbit out of his hat, especially when everyone's counting him out. Remember, they've had decent results lately, even missing key guys.
Think maybe they lean into set pieces. Make up for the lack of firepower that way.
Absolutely. Set pieces, that could be the equalizer. Get physical, use that aerial threat they've got, corners, free kicks, and Liverpool have shown they can be vulnerable there, so definitely something Everton will be looking at.
So much to think about. As we get closer, I'm already getting those goosebumps thinking about the atmosphere, the tension, everything got to go down.
This is going to be something special. Passion, pride, history, all of it. And when that whistle blows, one team walks away with the last laugh at Goodison.
And talking of history, back to those local players, or lack thereof, the Athletic, lowest it's been in decades, and they even had some fans weighing in on it. Mixed feelings.
Oh, for sure. Some fans, they miss it. Having those local lads out there feels like it loses something, you know, that personal touch. Others, they say it's just how it is now. Football's global. The rivalry is bigger than where you're from.
One quote stuck with me, an Everton fan. He said, "It's not about where you're from. It's about wearing the shirt with pride." That's it right there.
Yeah, that sums it up for a lot of fans. At the end of the day, it's representing your club, your city, giving it everything. Doesn't matter where you're born.
Couldn't agree more. But still, there's something about those homegrown players, the ones who grew up supporting these teams, playing in this match. It's real, it's personal, you can't fake that.
Like a family feud, almost. All that history makes it that much more intense.
And even if the faces change, the heart of it, that stays the same.
Yeah.
Passion, pride, wanting to be the best in the city.
Exactly. And tonight, under the lights, at Goodison, another chapter gets written. Last battle here. Who comes out on top?
Can't wait to see it unfold. Let's take a quick breather here, catch our breath, then we'll come back with some final predictions for this historic match.
You know, thinking about it, the stories around these two clubs right now, it's pretty stark.
Tale of two cities, almost. Liverpool, top of the table, chasing another title. The picture of consistency, you know. Then you got Everton scraping for points, desperate to get back to, well, what they used to be.
It's wild how two clubs, so close geographically, historically, can be on such different paths. But I mean, even with that, there's that shared history, that connection that never goes away.
Like two branches on a tree, growing in different directions, but from the same roots.
And tonight, those roots are on full display one last time at Goodison. Makes you think, doesn't it? All those past matches, those legendary players, all coming together here for this last huge showdown.
What do you think's going through those Everton fans' minds tonight? This is more than just a game. It's saying goodbye to a place that's full of memories.
Mix of emotions, I'd bet. That fire to beat Liverpool, that'll never go away. But also some nostalgia, right? Knowing this is the end of something. Bittersweet, for sure.
The athletic pieces. Some Everton fans even sounded a bit anxious about the new stadium. Leaving Goodison, it's a big leap into the unknown.
Change is tough, always is, but could be a chance for them, new beginnings, all that. Maybe that new stadium's exactly what they need to, get back on track.
Fingers crossed. But tonight, it's Goodison's night. One last chance to make a memory that'll last forever. What do you think? Home crowd, emotions running high. Can Everton pull off the upset? Or is Liverpool just too strong, too focused on that title?
Derby matches, they're impossible to call, really. Form goes out the window. It's all about who wants it more, that pure will to win.
And that's what makes it so good, right? Anything can happen.
Exactly. And that's why we love this game. The ups and downs, the moments of magic, the heartbreak, it's all part of it.
Speaking of magic, I'll be watching Salah closely. He's been on fire this season, and if he's at his best, well, that could be it for Liverpool.
He's something else, that Salah. The things he can do with the ball, those goals he scores, unbelievable. Everton's defense, they'll have their hands full trying to stop him.
But on the other side, Everton's got Demarai Gray. He's been a bright spot for them, and if he can get going against that Liverpool backline, he could cause some trouble.
Oh, Gray's dangerous, no question. Pace, skills, and he can finish. If Everton can get him into the game, they've got a shot.
It all comes down to this. One last Merseyside derby at Goodison Park. History, passion, drama, the lot. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with this. Goodison's about to be gone. Which team will carry the weight, that last derby win at this legendary stadium?
That's a question that'll be hanging around long after that final whistle. So when those players walk out, that crowd roars, just take it all in, The atmosphere, the history, the magic of this rivalry. Because tonight, this is the end of an era. And the memories we make, those will last a lifetime.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving